the harm in like a book trophy? Did her dirty. Suspend your disbelief. This one I was like, okay, if you say so, I'm gonna go with it. I don't even know why it was decided to portray him as this grumpy grump. Like, please be serious. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have very crusty lips and I try to moisturize and gloss the heck out of them so you wouldn't notice, but if you notice, you don't, okay? Like, they're chronically crusty and I hate that for me. But you don't care about that. You care about the books, all the books that I read in January. I read 12 books and I'm so proud of myself because I diversified my reading experience in the types of books that I read and the medium I used to consume said books. So without further ado, hi, hello, if you're new here, my name is Anita, and the way that I do my reading wrap-ups is I used to, last year, I used to rate them, or not rate them, but I would start with like my least favorite book and end with my most favorite book. This month, I did not do that because it's difficult for me to rank the reading experiences that I've had this month. Like, they have been fantastic, generally fantastic. So I don't think I'm going to, well, I haven't rated them from least to most favorite. I'm going to give them to you in the order that I read them, which really doesn't mean anything to you, but hopefully you still stay tuned to the end so you can see all the books that I read and hear my thoughts. Speaking of hearing my thoughts, the way that I compile my thoughts is in 3 short phrases or words, because I tend to be very long-winded, especially when I'm talking about books that I really, really love. So in order to combat that, I try to keep it to 3 words or less. Some of these, because I've been using my reading journal, they have a section for favorite quote. I don't have a favorite quote or a memorable quote from every single book, but for some of them that I do have a quote that I feel comfortable sharing with you guys, I will give you the quote along with my 3 words or phrases, but the quote is going to have no context. I'm just going to tell you the quote and that's just going to be it. Like, and I think that like might be interesting because for me, if I see the cover of a book and I hear like a quote that really stands out to me, like one quote from the book, and both of those resonate, I'm probably going to pick up that book. So that's kind of my angle of sharing the memorable quote or the meaningful quote to me. So that might stand out to you as well. So without further ado, if you're new here, I hope you consider subscribing. And if you like the style of video, please give it a thumbs up and or a hype, whichever you like. And consider subscribing before moving on. Other than that, let's get to the first book that I read this year, you guys. So, and of course it's at the bottom of my pile. The first book that I read is Loved One by Aisha Maharar. Aisha Maharar. The 3 words that I have for this book are love-centered quest, and I hyphenated love-centered, so it's kind of like 2 words, but go with it. Love-centered quest. This book is essentially, that's what it is. A girl, what's the girl's name, child? Julia loses her best friend who they once were in a relationship, but since they've been friends for like, I want to say like 10 years or 7 years or something like that, after they broke up, he unexpectedly passes away and she goes on a quest to recover some of his things. And it wasn't pitched as a quest, I don't think, but that's how it felt, that's how it read. And you know, the people that she was encountering along the way, the connections she was making along the way, the revelations she was having along the way, and the reflection she was doing, and the flashbacks, I really, really liked it, and I felt like this was a lovely way to start the year. So that is Loved One. Next, I have an Arcane Inheritance. This is a bit of a spoiler. Yes, I obviously read the book, but I read it on my Kindle and I picked up the physical book. It's so pretty. And when I vlogged me at the store picking up this book, I was like, normally the edges don't really get me, but this book really caught my eyeball. It's so beautiful. And I'd already read it, so I'm like, well, what's a harm in like a book trophy? you know. So 3 words I have for this, or phrases, this one's phrases. It's slow, confusing magic, and frustrating romance. I don't think this was marketed as romantasy. If it was, it shouldn't have been. Because like, it was so not straightforward, the romance was. The magic was really confusing. Like the main character is trying to figure out the magic, and she was having a hard time figuring out the magic. The whole, it wasn't a quest, but a little bit of an investigation, like a mystery of like, okay, who are these people in this like secret society, and what does this have to do with this, and this? And then there's this underlying like romance in it, and I think it's meant to be like a moment of tension, and it is, but it's very unsatisfying. It's very unsatisfying. I will say, from a wrapping up the book standpoint, the ending seemed very like rushed, or it felt like it was rushed to me. The romance part of the ending was really cute, but throughout the book it wasn't. I really hope that makes sense. This is interesting. I feel like I need to reread this. I definitely need to reread this, especially knowing what I know now. I feel like picking up on like those Easter eggs and stuff like that throughout the book, a second read would make for a better reading experience. But there is that one. Next, I have 107 Days by Kamala Harris. This is my nonfiction book of the month, you guys. The one that I finished. I didn't finish what was it, the 12-week year. I haven't finished that one yet, but I did finish this one. And the 3 words that I have for this are did her dirty. I kind of don't even want to say any more than that. Man, like there are things that you could have assumed, like after the election. You could have assumed, you could have inferred, you could have guessed, you know, this might have been what was going on, or this might have been, you know, her perception or her understanding, or maybe other people's, you know what I mean? Like, but to see and read more insight into it is like, damn, they did her dirt. Like it felt like an unwinnable situation, all of the adversity that she faced, and not to negate the work that she did and the platform that she made and the platform she continues to have and stand on, and her voice and her actions. But I just, and then knowing how it ends, obviously knowing how it ends, it's just, they did her dirty. Those are my 3 words, y'all. Next, I have a book that I read on Kindle Unlimited. It is called Unexpected Pass by Mel Dow, I think. Maybe it's Meldo. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the last name. But the 3 words I have for this are suspend your disbelief. It starts out quite, from the romance, but it's a romance. It's a Black romance. From the romance perspective, it starts out quite remarkable. What I do love, though, is that they went to Disney World. They went to Disney World, and you guys know I just went to Disney World for the first time a couple of months ago, and like that experience, it was her first time, and Female Main Character is her first time going to Disney, so like getting to kind of like relive that through, you know, her experience was really, really cute and sweet. But maybe the romance, suspend your disbelief. Like there's some times where like, yes, it's outrageous, but it wasn't outrageous enough for me to not have to choose the 3 words, suspend your disbelief. It's like, I don't know. It just, I hate to say it's unrealistic romance, because I feel like that's really unfair to the lovers of the world like myself, because to us, everything in love should be possible, right? Nothing's too remarkable or outrageous for us. But this one, I was like, okay, if you say so, I'm gonna go with it. But it was cute. Don't fight me. Okay. Next, I have a reading vlog of me reading this one, and that is Fishtales by Nettie Jones. I think I said her name was James in a reading vlog. I can't remember, but it's Nettie Jones. This was really short, but it packed a punch. Okay, the 3 words I have for this are sex, drugs, and control / power. And I told you guys, if you read like the synopsis, like it will very much set you up for the whirlwind that is this reading experience. And this is not a turn your brain off book. It's not a turn your brain off book. It is a scratch your head, what is happening book. Also, the ending, what I think happened what actually happened? I really want to know. If anybody has read this, I need to know, is what I think happened, is that what happened? Like, I don't feel intellectual or critical enough to understand fully this book, but I do like it and I do recommend. Like, it's going to make you think. This will be great for book club. This will be great for book club, and I have another one in here that would be great. I think will be great for book club. Okay, next I have Sweet Little Hearts. I read this on KU, and I think you also get the audiobook on KU as well. If you get the audiobook for free if you get the book on KU, because like I told you guys, I could not find it at my store, at my local store, my local Barnes & Noble or my local indie store. Like, I could not freaking find that book, but I need to read it. And I have a reading vlog of me reading this as well. The 3 words I have for this were always down bad. And what I mean by that is he was always down bad. He was down bad for her from the last book. Like, you could not tell me that's not where this was going. You could not tell me that he wasn't like over the freaking moon. He falls first and harder, and like, he's such a lover boy. Like, I don't even know why it was decided to portray him as this grumpy grump. Like, please be serious. He is a lover boy. I as a lover girl can see right to your lover boy soul. Like, he was always down for her. And I think I liked that. I just love Shanora Williams' writing, and I love like how the conflict seems really reasonable. It doesn't seem like the other one, like I don't have to just suspend disbelief that the happenings between these characters is actually something plausible, or something that they might experience, or something that people actually experience, or in this way, at this speed, at this caliber, at this intensity, you know? Like, it felt very reasonable and plausibly relatable. Next I have Demon's Dream. I reread this. I read this for the first time, I think 2024, like the end of 2024, and I read this again as a reread. And the 3 words I have for this are, Diana, come here. If you know, you know. That's all I'm gonna say. This was a fun time. Again, the second time around, I don't care. It was still a fun time. Still a great time. I enjoyed myself, and that still hit. It literally still hit every bit. Immediately, yes. Yes. Next, I have Son of the Morning by Kweke Mezi. I have a reading vlog of me reading this. I had to think. I was like, did I read this in a reading vlog? Yes, I did. A reading vlog of me reading this one as well. The 3 words I have for this are challenging, Morley, risque, and family, both true and found. This, if you don't know, this is about the story, well, it's I guess a spin or inspired by the fallen angel Lucifer, and it's like a love story between Lucifer and Galilee. We don't know what Galilee is, but Galilee and Lucifer have some type of magnetic energy spark, something between the two of them, and he's trying to figure out what she is. She's trying to figure out what she is. She's an other for her family, and there is obviously the perception of Lucifer, he's a bad guy, right? So nobody wants her to talk to him or look at him or you trust him, none of those things. But there is a lot to explore and to unpack. But Akwaeke Emezi does such phenomenal writing and story capturing and like making people uncomfortable, making people think. And also I learned in this book, great spice. Great spice. If you're a spicy girl, okay, this is what you want. And I didn't even realize that it was spicy like that. But I mean, you find out pretty quickly, you know, that might be a possibility. But either way, there is a lot to explore. Like I said, you know, sexually, religiously, morally, you know, trust between friends and family, you know, forgiveness. There's so much in this book. So if you saw my reading vlog and there was, you know, caveats for who I think this book is not for, if you're not in one of those categories, definitely pick this one up. And this is on Kindle Unlimited. Oh, and I have a quote for this one. She wanted to flay him and climb inside. She wanted to drop her own skin and make a small cave inside his ribs, curl up in the space where his mortal heart should have been. No context, you guys. No context. But that is the quote that I pulled from that book. Next, I have These Heathens by Mia McKenzie. I finally read this book, you guys. The 3 words that I have for this are great for book club. I thought I put that somewhere else. I thought I put that on another book for the actual 3 words. This will be great for book club. Much like Sun of the Morning, it will challenge a lot of your ideas or your opinions on some controversial topics. Granted, this is like historical fiction. I think this is in the 60s or 70s. This is in the 60s in the South. And it talks about abortion. It talks about sexuality. It talks about racial tensions, fighting your oppressor with the same energy that they're fighting you with, or fighting them with knowledge and kindness. And that kind of goes into the quote that I had picked out for this book. All right, the quote that I have for These Heathens is, "We don't choose nonviolence because we're not angry, or because we're weak or too scared to fight back. We choose it because we think we can win with it." No context. But that was These Heathens. I really enjoyed that book. And it was funny. Everybody says it's funny. It was funny, especially the audiobook, like the accent and like the way the narrator was reading, and she wasn't commenting on things like as the narrator, she's commenting on things as the character, but it felt like she was inserting her own commentary because it was so natural and so funny. So I do agree. The audiobook was pretty funny as well. Next, I have Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. This is also a spoiler. I picked this up in January, the physical copy. But yes, I very much enjoyed this book. The 3 words I have for it are, I love Dominic. I love Dominic. The story is about, what is her name, child? Sloane, whose husband passed away, 4 years ago? Her husband passed away 4 years ago. Her husband's best friend, who they all met in college, like 12 years ago, I think. Her husband's best friend is Dominic, and he is the male main character in this. And we see, I love a beautifully flawed character, and I feel like I said this in my reading vlog as well. I have a reading vlog reading this one. I love a beautifully flawed character, and he is very much that. He's so ripped open. I won't go too much into it because I talked about it in my reading vlog, like I said, but I love him. I was looking forward to his points of view and his thoughts and his feelings and his rawness more than I was looking forward to that of the female main characters, which is very unusual. Normally, like, the romance books are really behind the woman and they're through the lens of the woman. But this one, I really connected with Dominic. I thought it was beautiful and I absolutely love him. I have a quote from Restore Me. Now is the time for comforting my angel and letting her know I don't give a fuck about what she sleeps in as long as she sleeps in it next to me. No context. Okay, seriously. Next I have Pretty. I finally read this. This has been waiting patiently to be read by me on my TBR, and I finally got to it. The 3 words I have for this are community organizations and puppy love. This one, and I talked about this in my reading vlog, I won't go too much into it either, but it definitely, those are the main 2 themes for me that I picked up on anyways, is the strength and the intention behind community organizations, and what it's like to fall in love for the first time, and how scary that is, and how uncertain it is, how vulnerable it is, how much you question it, how much you challenge it, and what does that look like, and what does that feel like, and how do you know that it's right? And you know, there's a lot of beautiful things in this book, and I'm really glad I picked it up. It kind of ends on a cliffhanger. There's a part 2 called Together. I will be picking that up sometime soon. But the quote that I have for this, oh, my camera's thinking about dying. The quote I have for this is, my mom says Nina Simone is every woman's medicine. She knows what it's like to be broken and to be forced to live with the pieces. No context. All right, and the last book that I have is Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. This was on a TBR last year, like towards the end of last year or something like that. I never got to it, and I don't know what made me pick it up. Oh, I had an audiobook. The audiobook was ready. But I'm so glad I read this. I'm so glad I read this. It has been a while since I read the first book, which was Honey and Spice. I don't feel like you needed to read the first book. Maybe getting her nickname, like understanding what that means to them and to him, you might want to read the first book again, but it's fine. I feel like you didn't need that. The 3 words I have for this are valid breakup. That's 2 words. And then I cheated because I normally cheat in my little 3 words phrases. I said, I'm secretly very in love with Malachi. Like literally, actually in love with Malachi. I love that man. I love their banter as well. The banter is top tier. Her best friend was really about to be on my list in this book. Okay, but it ended up being all right. She was cool with it, I was cool with it, but still, she was really making my butt itch. But yes, I absolutely adored this book. We learned this is a second chance. They got together, they met and got together in the first book. In this book, it starts out with them broken up, and we're trying to figure out, you know, how, why, what happened. And once we learned that, it was very valid in my experience, in my opinion. Like, I have seen that before, like almost exactly. I have seen that before many times, and I'm no expert on men at all, but like from the crumbs that I know, like it's not surprising that that's how everything went down. But I think this was a fabulous, fabulous book. Unfortunately, none of these books made me cry, but it's okay. There's always February. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the style of video, please give it a thumbs up and or a hype, whichever you like, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.